Good morning, everyone. I hope you're having a great day today. We're gonna start out here, and we're gonna, it is very rainy.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a little bit spatch of rain, which was kind of weird.
You don't see that much in California.
Not too much. I got an alert from the county of LA saying that there's a flood warning for 1 inch of rain, which I know from most of the other places. I sent to some friends who are on the other side of the nation, saying, "Hey, this is what happens when you get a little bit of rain."
Like, they're probably laughing at us, like, "Oh, why are you guys getting all hot and bothered about an inch of rain?"
Yeah,
I don't understand it either.
It's weird for us. So.
Yeah, people start driving, especially in like on the freeways and on even like larger surface streets. People start driving like idiots. They're driving so slow and like.
Oh yeah, no, they drive like they're really weird with how we drive here. For,
like
for
it's like they
reason.
forget how
people
to.
Do forget. Yeah, it's just it's what it is. Yeah.
But anyway,
anyway, so
we wanted
to say for those of you, if anyone's tuning in that got our flyers yesterday or on Anderson and are tuning in, thank you so much for tuning in.
Yes, thank you.
Tuning in because we damaged your car. It was not us that.
Yes, this was not us that damaged your car. Flyers. We did not do that.
If you're tuning in, likewise, on the flyers I passed out at Pomona this weekend, thank you so much for doing that. If you're tuning in because I annoyed you passing out that flyers, it was not me that passed them out. In fact,
it was someone else.
It was someone else. Completely.
It was a paid actor.
Paid actor, with the same car and everything like that.
Oh yeah, and happens to look pretty similar.
Yeah,
but that's about it.
But that's only that's it. It's what it is.
Anyway, we wanted to reach out, give you our phone number, give you our Instagram handle, have you ready to call with your questions, call with any if you have an interesting story or say if you have a kind of a horror story about your an experience with your car, or any sort of experience related to cars at all. Just please call in. Our phone number is 714-516-6187.
714-516-6187. I hope to see you guys and I hope we can get some calls in because we'd like to call, chat. If you just want to talk cars, more than welcome to. If you have a question for us, we're more than willing to help sort of answer to the best of our ability.
And our Instagram handle, please reach out. It is Rev and Rant. Rev the letter N Rant _radio.
And if you have a question, usually the last couple of weeks we were saying if you had a question, reach out on either the phone or the Instagram. Last week we had someone that seemed to not fully sort of be able to. We weren't able to get the questions, and someone was trying to send them in. So if you want your question heard on air with us or calling the station instead of texting us because we can maybe get the text on the Instagram, but it is a little bit we have a little bit patchy service here. So call in if you have a question that you would like to, if it's after for the rest of the week, feel free to text and we'll write it down for the next show.
Yes, please.
But yeah, for during the show, please stick to calling.
I heard you. I heard you went to Pomona this weekend. It's one of the bigger car shows.
I'm a little. My voice seems a little weird today. So just before I start, we start the main show here. Just would like to say, apologies to all the listeners who have to hear me speak for the next hour or so. Went to Pomona. Been, living in SoCal for all my life and been here for, this is my 4th year, and never went. And it's always on a Sunday at 5, and for some reason it's once every other month, and it coincides perfectly with some event that I'm doing the night before, so I just never want to wake up.
Yeah. And
was told by a lot of people, if you don't get there on time, you're going to miss. If you don't get there not on time, if it's from 5 a.m., ends at 2 p.m., if you don't get there at 5 a.m. or close enough to 5 a.m., a lot of the good They have some free stuff, but that's all picked through.
Yeah.
They have some really cheap stuff, but everybody who's there at 5 is like die hard. They know what they want. So
I mean, I feel like towards the end of the day, though, like no one's gonna want to take that stuff home, so you might as well just stay there until like closer to 2, and then they'll be like, I don't want to take this home. Either you can have it or you can take it for like $1. That's what yeah. So you went to Pomona. Me and my friend Cash, we went to a different swap meet the day before. It's called Octo Show and Swap.
Yeah.
It is for like buses and like Volkswagen buses, Volkswagen single cab trucks, Volkswagen double cab trucks, just a whole bunch of Volkswagen
stuff. Well, that's cool. Well, that's what I was actually like. We're going back to Pomona real quick before we fully change the subject to Octo.
Oh no, I wasn't. I just wanted to
put that out there.
Put that out there.
Yeah, no, I was surprised because Pomona, I got there and I always thought, because drag strip. So anytime I think drag strip, I automatically think more American Muscle, stuff like that. And it had a lot. I mean, I'm not going to deny it had a decent amount, but there's an entire section that is devoted to Beetles and VWs.
Oh,
I was like, that was insane to me.
That's
I was
a
like,
massive scene out here.
It is, yeah, but like the amount of Beetles that were there, like they took up the entirety of like sort of they have the back area, or like I guess it's closer to the spectator entrance, but one of the entrances that's closer to, because I guess there's like 3. And I walked in, I was like, look, that's VW stuff. Okay, went a couple other. It's like I think there's like 2,500 vendors there.
Yeah.
So it's like a very big show. I actually got a blanket, like a Mexican blanket.
Woven blanket. You posted that. That was pretty cool.
I got it for the truck, and I thought it was fun. It was to guess how much it was.
$25.
15.
Not bad.
They had like other ones that were nicer, sort of thinner. I guess better quality. I guess quote unquote quality.
Yeah.
But I was talking to the guy and. This is why I like swap meets, and I will definitely be going there again. Like I said, $15, that's great. I'm sure maybe if I did some research online, I could have found it equal to, if not a little cheaper. But I just preferred to, see the guy and talk to him. And B, I was like looking at all the blankets. I was like, that looks very. I had honestly before that never been too interested in sort of the blanket look. I mean, it's sort of off and on to me. Some cars it works with, and some cars it doesn't. And I was like unsure about, oh shit, would it fit in the truck? What's the correct color scheme to match it? Because it's turquoise and white. It's sort of difficult to match. And I went up and talked to him and said, hey, this is what I'm thinking. This is what, showed him a picture of the truck. When I don't know what's going to go with this that well. What do you recommend? He goes, well, he had the $25, the nicer ones out, really like, very, very, finely woven. And he goes, maybe you'd be a little bit better with these. Showed me the $15 ones, which actually are thicker, and I think they look a little nicer, like sort of more crude. Like my car, on a show truck.
Were they like kind of almost like, so you said thicker. I'm like different materials. Like one of them's like kind of like a woven cotton. One of them's more like polyester or something like that?
Not polyester. One of them's like the nicer one was, I think they were both cotton. And then they're not polyester at all. Like the one that I have is definitely, like I don't feel any polyester. And I don't think I would have gotten it if I did feel polyester because, it's like just thicker cotton. Yeah. Like one of them's like the thin, very small string. And this is like a bunch of sort of more, instead of it being strings, it's it's like rope or yarn, like thicker yarn.
Okay.
That created it. So it's a lot, it's a bit of a different, it's the same material, but it's just a different sort of way using it. So it's a lot larger in that. But I think it looks, I think thicker's the better because I said, it's like not a show truck. I can understand why, people with show cars, if they have the, if they like that look, want the nicer ones and they want it to be. And it does feel like the other ones felt great, but I'm sitting on it. Mm-hmm. So I don't thicker's probably even better on honestly with that. And also it's, something that I saw like, okay, I could throw this one in the wash probably. And I'm using it as a daily driver. So why not? And then also it comes with the added benefit. If I ever want to go like drive out into the desert and, spend the night there, something like that.
Put
looking
that in
at
the
the
back of
stars
your truck and just
put it in the back, and I have a blanket.
Yeah.
I mean, or just sit on it the entire way. Then I just take it out and throw it on the bed and and have that. So I don't know. I think it looks good. I chose sort of reddish.
Yeah, wasn't it like reddish? And
the guy was really, like I said, this is the reason why I really like the swap meet is because the guy was extremely nice. I was like, okay, like I said, showed him the picture of the truck, showed him everything, and he goes, I don't want to sell you something and have that like not go with with the car at all.
Yeah.
So, okay, interesting. So
so he cared.
He cared. He cared enough.
That's the thing that I like. Like, if you go to like a retailer, they're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, I'll sell you that. I don't care if it doesn't look like your car at all. It'll just I'll sell it to you because I'm interested in making money." Whereas if you go to a swap meet, they're still interested in making money, but they'll give you the best choice. They'll give you choices, but they'll still make their money.
Yeah,
and it's money better.
The money better, like well spent.
Yeah,
the guy, well spent. Like I said, the guy was extremely. I showed him, and he goes, "Man, I should have been an architect." That was funny. And he showed me that, and I was like, "Oh, that's really cool. Should check that out." And got it. And I'm really happy with it actually now. So yeah. Anyway, on to the auction, I guess.
I was going to ask one more thing. Did you score anything else at the show, or just kind of?
I have my Impact to Makita, and when I got it, it didn't come with, it was a Christmas present, and it didn't have any batteries, so I got 2 off-brand batteries, and it only came with batteries, not even the charger. So I was like, man, should have gotten a charger. So I was looking, and I found a Makita charger, so I guess the batteries would probably be, they must be. That must be usable with it, and I bought that $15.
Oh, that's not bad.
Only thing is, it has a DC cigarette lighter instead of an AC plug. So,
so you got to plug it into your truck.
Well, technically yes, but I'm looking. I'm sure there's a way that I can plug into. I'm sure they have an adapter because I can't be the only person with this problem. I mean, I went into Best Buy. Or no, into Walmart, into their like electrical section, and asked them. Lady looked at me like I said something in Japanese. Like she's like, "What is going on?" But so we'll see. I got that, and then I also got. Well, I actually can't really say exactly what I got because my dad might be listening to this.
Ooh, I'll have to listen.
Got him a very late Christmas present, but if he's listening, Dad, I got you a very early Christmas present, or not Christmas, birthday present, excuse me.
Yeah, very early
birthday present. He didn't forget. I did this a month ago.
He didn't forget. He never forgets.
But no, I saw it and I was like, okay, it's perfect. And once I give it to him, I'll have to say what it is. I was like, it's amazing. It looked, I mean, he's probably not going to care that much, but I thought it was cool.
Yeah. I'm sure he'll appreciate
all in all, it was really fun.
Yeah.
And there's a huge car corral. It was definitely worth it. I mean, and the prices there are a lot cheaper. Like tools, I really will not be going. I mean, Facebook Marketplace is great for them, but some of the stuff that people had there was great, like well priced, and the other half of the stuff, like there's a lot of just junk there, which I found out. I was walking around, I was like, all right, a lot of stuff that I really could use. Some stuff's a little overpriced. You get the like sort of I know what I got type of guys there too, but you also get some guys that are that want to make a deal.
Yep.
And then there's a lot of stuff that's just junk that you don't need. So,
one way that I figured out how to tell a good vendor from a bad / overpriced vendor, how much stuff they have left at a specific part of the day.
Really?
$10 for entry and parking, so it's not bad, and it's a fairly good sized show. I mean, it's mostly a swap meet. We got there, we didn't even get down the first aisle, and we had our arms loaded with stuff because of how cheap people were giving things away. And actually, because we stopped at a couple tents, one of them was very picked over. And we figured out why. So we asked him how much something was. He was like, "Oh, $5. That's like a $50 part right there." And he just is like, "Oh, $5." And we're like, "Sold." And then we go up to this other dude, and I was actually looking for a bus turn signal, the Volkswagen bus turn signal lens.
Yeah.
Guess how much the dude wanted for it, and guess how much it actually is worth.
I mean, I'm gonna say it's gonna be worth VW.
Oh, and mind you, it was cracked. It was cracked around the housing was cracked around the edges.
I'd give him like $5-10 for that if it's cracked. I mean, if I saw it for $4, I'd be like, all right, $5. And
that's how much most people would sell it for. $5.
And
dude wanted 20.
Really?
And it was cracked and fogged, and like it had like like when the plastic cracks but not fully breaks.
Yeah.
Had a bunch of like stress cracks and all that, and we're just like we literally told the dude, "You're insane."
Yeah.
And we walked off.
Yeah.
Because he had a tent. He had a tent full of parts still, and it was getting closer to the end of the day, like where they had to pack up and take everything home.
I know. It's
and
gonna
he
be,
still had so much stuff.
Insane to be a vendor. I agree with you. It might be cool. I mean, I heard you get all the best deals in the beginning because that's when all the like really cheap stuff goes. But I'm also sure, if you go on the end of the day and they just don't want to carry your trailer home, whatever.
Oh yeah, there was this one dude at the very end who sold my friend Cash a box full of like engine tins. Like, since you probably don't have many engine tins on your car.
No.
Air-cooled cars need engine tin to cool.
Yeah.
It's basically like everything from the fan shroud to like the bottom tin near the pulley, and it blocks like the hot side of the engine from the cold side of the engine. There's about, I'd say, 5 big pieces of tin.
Okay.
And he sold it to us for like, I'd say, I think it was $30 for all of it. And
oh wow!
Most times it's like all that tin on a website, on a website would be like probably like $200+.
Yeah.
And then he also sold us and on the back of one of those engine tins there was a oil breather box, which are aftermarket $50.
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh, I'll throw that in."
Oh, that's
for free.
Cool.
For free. He was like, "Yeah, I don't want to take any of this home. I'm trying to get rid of it." And we're like, "We understand you. We'll take it." And then there was this other dude who sold us a generator, an alternator, and a voltage regulator. That's normally $300 worth of parts, if not more. Guess how much?
55.
$20.
Really?
$20 for all three.
Well, that's pretty great.
And I we were walking away. We were like, "We'll come back for that." And then he was like, "No, wait, but how about this? $20 for the voltage regulator, generator, and alternator." And we're just like, "Fuck, God,
are you sure
you're pulling our legs too hard here?"
Are you sure they're working a generator, voltage regulator?
Oh, one of them's brand new in the box.
Oh wow,
the generator
check,
is.
If it's got good brushes or something, I don't know
the generator.
Oh, it's $20. Older. Yeah, take it off my hand. Sure, it works.
The generator looks a little older, but I mean, you can replace brushes and it'll work.
Oh no, of course, yeah, no, just it might have been.
I mean,
whatever.
They looked like they worked and they spun freely.
Yeah.
They the alternator looked basically brand new. So
that's cool. Yeah, that's why it's. They're good. They're good stuff. These swap meets are pretty good to go to. I saw Retro Garage, I think is the name of it. Vintage Garage, something like that on Instagram.
Yeah.
Video, and I was thinking we could do something like that with this radio show and Chapman maybe, or it would be cool at least to do, where they went to a swap meet. And they bought a frame. They bought a body. They bought an engine, a transmission.
And they built
the parking lot.
Square body,
they built a square body Chevy in the parking lot.
That was sick.
That's awesome. And I was like, man, we should do something like that. But
I don't think they bought the engine though. I think they just had that because I remember the dude saying, "Oh, we revved the crap out of this. We did a bunch of burnouts, and then it's just leaking so much oil from the rear main."
Well,
and I'm just like, ooh.
Everything else was done there, and I was like, damn, we should do something like that with Chapman. Like go to Pomona or something like that one of these days. buy a frame or buy, because they sell a lot of parts cars, but are fine with a good frame and body. Just buy one of those. I'm sure you can find an engine, transmission, and rear axle there. Buy those and then sell it for donate it to charity or something like that. That'll be a fun.
That'd be real fun.
We need to get a sponsor for the down payment at least, but
yeah,
at least we could sell it and pay back and then donate the rest to a charity.
Yeah, we could.
Whatever. That would be kind of a cool thing to do. Maybe next
really
cool. Semester we can. I'll email the Chapman administration about it. Say, hey, they're gonna. I'm
sure Mike Pelly would love to. Just have something to do with it as well.
I'm sure he was. Thank you again to Mike Pelly. He was an amazing speaker last week.
He was. It was a wonderful time having him on.
And we're gonna have it uploaded tonight on YouTube.
Yeah.
So and then I'm gonna upload everything that we've done so far. So if you missed an episode, please feel free to go back and take a look at it on our YouTube channel.
We're getting YouTube and. I think we'll even. I just have to figure out Spotify. I have to start opening up a Spotify. And
of course.
We'll get some podcasts out. That'll be
Well, we have a question that just came in that I got texted. This is from Charles Steeram of Dixon, New Mexico. How come a windshield wiper blade used to cost $3 to $4 and now they're $25 to $30? Got any insight on that, Noah?
Here's my thought. They're selling you stuff that's all the windshield wipers back in when they were $3 or $4.
Yeah.
They worked pretty well, and they were all fairly the same technology, same as they are today. They're all fairly pretty much the same technology. Of course, you have some with 4 arms holding the blade down. You have some that are no arms or whatever. It's weird stuff. But I think the reason they cost so much now is because the manufacturers of said blade want to make it look like they're higher end, or because I know I've gone to an O'Reilly and I've seen that Bosch has something they have clear vision, and then they have clear vision with Rain-X, and then they have this really hot, the really high glass everything on it brand, and the only difference I've ever seen in any sort of windshield wiper blade is how long they last. But that's
but also I'm sure my wiper blades, I know I'm live in California, so I don't have to use them nearly as much as anywhere else, but mine are fine. And they're the most basic wiper blades ever. They're not anything fancy. They're just and you can replace them. I could probably make my own wiper blade if I wanted to with these, because they're not don't have an extreme curve to them. They're just sort of the most basic foot, if that, of wiper blade.
Yeah,
they're on there. They just go. Not at an extreme. There's one speed that they go on.
Yeah.
So
I think it's been competition within the market that's been driving up the price. Bosch has sold these at higher prices because this other company sold it at a bit of a higher price. We'll start selling them at a bit of higher price too, because they're selling it at a higher price. Oh, now that Bosch is selling it at a higher price, this other company will start selling it at a higher price, and so continues the cycle.
And that's why I really don't like about the industry right now, especially with cars, is you look at, advertisements, you look at a lot of the promos of what happened in 50s to even late 80s. They seemed awesome. And then you look at what's going on now, and it's just everybody's finding ways to screw over you as best as possible. I'm oh, wow.
Speaking of promos, car ads have got car ad quality has gone down. Now it's mostly just oh yeah, we'll see a Nissan Pathfinder going through a dirt road.
Yeah.
Whereas before it was a Ford, either a Chevy or Ford square body carrying the opponent, either a Chevy or Ford, on its back up a steep rock hill. Yeah. And it's I want ads like that. I want the ads where they drive the Volkswagen Beetle into the water and prove it can float.
Yeah.
I miss those ads.
I know. That was, or the Chevy Square Body. They were having them tow around like tons and tons of logs up a hill.
And then the plane. You remember they towed around an entire plane.
It was awesome. That was so cool.
There's the Cybertruck where they're like, oh, it towed this jet engine. Chevy already
did
it.
Like,
Chevy already did it in the 70s.
747 over there. And that was way better than, than this one jet engine. That's just, that's also the Cybertruck trying to prove that they...
It's also got more, how do I say, soul to it.
Oh, yeah.
It's got more of a feel to it.
Yeah, I know. The Cybertruck, I don't really know how... I mean, it's just going to... You have no range. I can't... I'm not going to get into it, but I very much dislike them.
Yeah. me too. That's just us, though. I mean, that if you like them... You can like them if you want, I guess. But
if you like them, I don't know.
If you like them, I don't know you.
I don't know a single person who's like the Cybertruck looks cool. But anyway, back to the question. It's a combination of a lot of things. I think just the market not wanting to cater to its current base of customers, and not wanting to give us anything that we need 5 different options for the most basic thing. I go in there to get, any type of coolant or fluid or something like that, and there's 8 different things. Or even paint. There's if you want this with this guard X or something like that. I'm like, okay, well, so that means that they're telling me they're not going to sell me, the paint that's going to last in time. What's, I figured if I'm buying something that should work, I shouldn't need to buy something and then buy something else to make it last longer or a warranty because you think it's going to break. But
it's crazy how much
how much all that stuff goes. Well, do you want to talk about
I wanted
the March Madness?
So here at Rev and Rant, we're going to be starting something on our Instagram.
Oh,
and again. Here,
Are we now?
Yeah, we're gonna be. Oh yeah, sorry, I will be. Doing
I was gonna say
But anyway, so before we get into that, let's read out our number again and read out our Instagram.
Yeah,
handle.
I mean, feel free to call us if you want to talk cars, if you want to just if you have any questions about your car, if you want to anything and everything.
Yes,
our number is 714-516-6187. That's 714-516-6187. I need to figure out if there's something we can spell with those words that they can call 714 Chapman or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's 714-516-6187 or DM our Instagram.
Yeah, Rev and Rant _radio. That is Rev, the letter N, Rant _radio.
And,
anyway,
on our Instagram, Noah will be doing something on there in the next little bit to try and get some.
Yeah, I'm going to be starting a sort of March Madness for the best driving songs. So we're going to every episode of Rev and Rant that you hear, every radio show we have, we will be cutting off and seeing how the votes turn out for that week.
Yeah, like a March Madness bracket. They have a lot of it in other sort of car channels that I follow. It's done that with best daily driver classic under X or best supercar, and they have people run them. So a best driving song.
But yes, best driving song.
That's got to be good.
That'll be fun because you're gonna have, of course, classics like Freebird. Freebird's a classic driving song, in my opinion.
Thing is, though, Freebird, I like Freebird after 4 minutes. It's not the
best one, though.
After 4 minutes is great, but before that, I'm if I'm on the wheel and I need to sort of wake up,
I'm kind of
and
tired.
I'm getting drowsy listening to the first bit, and I like it. It's a good song. Love Freebird. It's probably one of my favorite songs, but it is one of my favorite songs. But the first 3.5 minutes while driving, it's not. I mean, it's good if you're just chilling, and then shifting into a lower gear, drop a gear, disappear when that guitar solo hits.
Or drop a gear and stay right here. As you said, for both of us. Drop a gear and stay right here.
Drop a gear, stay right here. Drop a gear, drop the axle. have to go back and pick it up.
Drop a gear and then reverse to grab your axle that fell off.
Drop a gear, split a U-joint.
But yeah, keep an eye out for that on our Instagram. We're gonna be having some votes, and I'll probably I'm either gonna make a post about it or I'm gonna make post it on our story.
Yeah.
One of the two.
Cool.
Just send out a poll.
Yeah, of course. Well, I guess we have a bike update to get to as well during this show. I just realized, for those of you who've been listening, I have a motorized bicycle that's been sort of a project. It was given to me by a good friend and someone that I go to the same car club with. Was able to get it running after sitting for about 20 years. Ran it up and down the top of the West Campus parking structure 2 weeks ago. And after that, it just sort of sat because I really didn't have any time. I was looking for a new petcock for the fuel, and that took a little bit. And then even when I got it, I just didn't have a lot of time, between work and school in preparation for this as well, to fully, start it out, try it out. So this last weekend, I was on Friday going over to a friend's house, and, beautiful day. I was like, okay, perfect. It lives about 1.5 miles away, so not too bad. And I was like, all right, I'll ride over there. It's all residential, so I'm not riding in any major streets. And, fired up the bike and got less than like a quarter of the way down the block, and it kicks off. I'm like, okay, that's a little weird. So I, try and pull it, and it starts again and get on it. And the second that I engage the clutch, it kicks off. I'm like, okay, that's weird. Start it again, and it will run now for about like 5 to maybe 15, if you're lucky, seconds. And then after that, just kick off. Oh, damn. And I, eventually ended up riding it to his house, and a couple friends, they like dirt bikes, so they sort of know more bikes. I know about cars and stuff, and it is interchangeable, but at the same time, bikes, there's some stuff that you don't think of as much than you do with cars. So I'm like, okay, clean the air filter. It really doesn't seem anything like that. And then I would flood the engine because I'd be trying to start it too much, and then I would have to wait for it to dry out again. It's a big thing. And then I was like, okay, trying to figure out what it might be, and I think I've narrowed it down. I think it's the spark plug.
You think?
I'm like almost confident because I took off the spark plug and it was oily. It was black. And I was like, okay, seems to be there might be a slight problem here. It might be gapped incorrectly. It's sort of a weird size. Also, it's a very small spark plug. And then I pulled the cord a couple times while holding it. That was a mistake. Shocked myself a couple times. And but it seemed to not be firing every single time. So I'm like, okay, that might be the issue.
Wow.
Might be a bad spark plug. Or on the motor, something's wrong. It's not generating enough charge.
Yeah, I mean, they're supposed to have, like a small little rotational coil. I don't know how they work, but it's somewhere, if there's a coil on there, I'm wondering if we could try to fix something there, put on a new coil, if that would work.
Maybe that'll... Yeah, I don't know. That might work, though. But how I actually thought this was really interesting, because the other day I was looking up, just out of pure curiosity, what these, how these pull cord engines work. Because I've used them all my life. I worked on them before, but I don't know exactly. Obviously, if you have a car, you have spark coming from the battery that's charged by the alternator. That's how you create the spark.
Yep.
And you need compression, so that's why you have a starter. The battery starts, starter, which, then, battery goes to the distributor, and that gets to the spark plugs. And then the spark plugs turn the engine, and the engine turns the fan belt charges the alternator, and alternator sends all that charge back to the... the
turbinator ain't pushing enough pressure to the motor.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But with a pull start, A, there's not a huge amount of compression because you're just pulling it, and B, there's no battery on them. Okay, how do you actually, how it works on the flywheel when you pull the cable, right? You're basically pulling the flywheel, or I guess you'd say flywheel.
Yeah.
It's not exactly a flywheel, but for purposes, it's a wheel that, flywheel, spinning the engine. And on the edge of the flywheel, there's one or two electrical magnets. And when it passes this other sort of magnet or electrical charged coil, it creates, because of the difference in the magnetic difference, it creates, excites the electrodes, and that creates some electrical pressure when it goes to the spark plug.
Yeah.
So it creates pressure there, and the spark plug continues to build up pressure. So it can that's what causes them to, they're not firing every single time the piston's going up. There's like one, on a 4-stroke, there's one, and the pressure builds up and up and up until that small gap between the electrode on the spark plug and the actual base of it fires, because then the air in between there is then being used as just a conductor. So I think that's kind of a cool thing to learn about, and it was fully,
interesting.
But that was that. So as of now, I'm waiting for the spark plugs to arrive. I'll update you guys next week on my non-running bike.
I remember because we got a really strong spark through I had just a leftover spark plug. We stuck it in there real quick. We got a really, really, really strong spark. It was like very light blue and just exploded with power. And I'm like, ooh, we got spark, but we never checked the actual spark plug.
Yeah.
That
was it.
Maybe the spark. Yeah, maybe the spark.
That might have been.
Yeah, but and I know.
So I think we got a question on our Instagram.
Yeah, last week we got a little actually a question / a horror story. Here it is. For all of you car talkers, is there a foolproof way to start off in a manual car when on a very steep incline without rolling into the Maserati behind you? That LA horror story is why I sold my manual car when I moved here. I would say foolproof?
Yeah.
No.
No way.
You just have to get really good at driving manual. That's but also what you can do when you're starting out is pull up your e-brake. If you have a very accessible e-brake, pull up your e-brake and kind of start the car out, pull it up enough to keep you on that hill, then give it gas, let out the clutch as you normally would, and you'll feel the cars try to start moving forward, then let out the e-brake. I mean, that's a good enough way to do it. I personally don't do it because I don't need to, but yeah.
Well, in the truck, I'm not really. I haven't really been saying. People give you room in a classic, I think, more than they do regularly.
Which is, I was very happy about it last night. I was pulling out of our Anderson parking structure, and I was behind. There's Teslas behind me, and I was like, oh, they're a Tesla. They're not gonna know to.
I know Tesla drivers don't know anything about any other car. It's the weirdest thing. If you drive a Tesla, they just seem to forget about other cars on the road.
Yeah, which I mean, it's just. So I wasn't expecting them to give me space, but they gave me miles of space because I think they knew I was a manual car, and I was like, "Oh, that's nice of you." So, but I didn't roll back more than maybe a half a foot, but it was because I mean, I've had to get good at hill starts. I understand how to do a proper hill start because I mean, in when I would drive the car in Chicago, it does have the occasional hill, and then there's this one place in the town where or near the town where I grew up in Michigan.
Okay,
it's called Milford.
Is it hilly there?
It's in Michigan?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's very hilly in
Michigan.
Michigan.
Very hilly in Michigan. Okay, I think
but they're more gradual hills.
Gotcha.
They're
they're not
they're not. I mean, there's
not like California hills.
There's definitely ones that are very steep and sudden.
Yeah.
But most of them are very gradual hills.
Gotcha. I'm thinking of Indiana when I think of that, and it's if you stand on top of your car, you can see the state border.
Yeah. I mean, if you go down the freeways or some of the more popular like the heavy traffic roads, it is they mill it down so it's flat.
Yeah.
But on the back roads or even the slightly larger side roads, it is very it's very hilly.
Yeah.
And so you got I mean there's this one town that I was talking about, Milford, Michigan.
Yeah.
There's this one hill that is so steep, even regular automatic cars roll back at least at least a foot and a half.
Well, I actually have a story before the truck. My first car was a 2000 Mustang GT, and I was invited with some friends, senior year of high school. We were invited to the Magic Castle in Los Angeles. I was like, this is really cool. And so we all get there, and you have to wear suits, right? So we're all, and I was like, all right, I'll drive everyone. So we all drive over there, and it's really fun. And the way you get up to it, it's in Hollywood, like right at the beginning of the hills in Hollywood.
Yep.
So you drive up, and there's this really, it's a really steep incline. I was sort of surprised that they, usually in a place like that, it's not, but there's a huge incline. And I'm sitting there, and I'm parked. I'm like, okay, insurance, whatever, waiting. And like right before the guys got out of the car in front, this Tesla pulls up. And I'm talking like maybe 6 inches from my bumper.
Bruh.
Like they were right on. And I was like, I was actually getting kind of, I was like, oh my God, if I crash here, this is like, I am gonna roll back into them. And so I was heel toeing on the gas and the brake, and I had my other hand on the e-brake.
Yeah.
I was holding both of those, and the second that the other car, pulled away and everything, I think the valet thought I was, just trying to be, obnoxious at this point, because I revved up the engine a bunch, just dumped the clutch at the same time, pressed, full gas, let go of the e-brake instantly and shot the e-brake down and got up there. I think I even spun the tires like once, but I got up the hill because, all right, that was fine. I didn't roll back an inch. I was so proud of myself for not, because that's normally something I wouldn't care about. That I don't care about an incline with a stick. It just means you're going to roll, and 6 inches is a little too close for comfort. If it was a foot or two, okay, I would have tried it, but it was 6 inches is not a meter of space.
No.
But when I did that, like I said, we all had to wear suits, and my phone was there, and I had a phone case that was cracked. And I accidentally punched the phone case and didn't realize, but my hand, like I said, very nice place, bleeding all over the place, hit artery or something like that. And it was funny. It was nothing, not I wouldn't even consider it an injury or anything like that. But
yeah. But as far as a foolproof way, I would say there's there's not really.
You
foolproof
just have to
way.
get better at at manual driving techniques.
You got to get like really quick with your feet, and you have to have good control over your car. So yeah.
Well, I see that we only have about 5-6 minutes left on the show today. I would like to say, talk about this one guy that I did just hear about in the last week. Thought was pretty interesting, and a lot of people were saying they like the sort of story of F1 driver in South Africa. So I was like, I should start every week, I think, from now on, here on out, unless we have a guest speaker. I'm going to start sharing an automotive-related sort of historical story or biography about someone that I think is sort of cool, that I've sort of discovered. So send in, text, call in, or DM the Instagram for ideas about what to call this sort of segment of the show. We will take any and all suggestions. So trying to brainstorm right now about what to call it. But George Rodger was an English photojournalist. He had his wife Jinx, and he was a photojournalist during World War II. Actually photographed a lot of the concentration camps, was in the thick of the fighting, and was just all around, sort of a fearless journalist that would go in the middle of really hot firefights and start taking pictures. Right after, he did a bunch of trips across Africa. I think it's really cool because he took in 1957, he took his Land Rover and his wife on a 4,000-mile journey across the Sahara Desert, which is like an insane feat to do. Even today, today would be impossible, the route that he took, because it's just too war-torn to get through there safely. But he took some, I was looking at his pictures. Oh my God, if anybody is listening, George, Rodger, some of his pictures that he took in this trip were I'm shocked. They're incredible. They're really, really, really good. So 1957, documented a lot of the indigenous sort of tribes that still live there, and a lot of the sort of a lot of the route along the way. He went to oasis, basically. And he has some really interesting quotes saying, the Sahara Desert is just life that, I forget, blanking on the exact quote, but really, really interesting guy. Land Rover named Missouri, which in Swahili means very good. So it's a really cool trip. It looks beautiful, and I'm like, man, I really need to go and check out, that for myself. At one point, I think one of those trips would be a really cool thing to do. And I'm also 82 film about doing the same sort of trip across the desert. So it's a really cool one. I would highly recommend. I think he has a book. That's how I know about it, because I saw advertisement for this book. He has a book of photography coming out right now about specifically that 57 African trip, and it looks, oh my God, if it wasn't $160, I would be buying that instantly. It looks really cool.
Yeah.
So I would highly recommend it.
Yeah. But so he drove 4,000 plus miles across. Across with his wife. Just those two. Wow. Like, no, that's like, you can only do that in 1957 because, yes, please. Can I get in on that?
Yeah,
I want to do that.
That sounds awesome. The guy was amazing. He and this is after, mind you, he did another trip. He throughout post-war Africa, he was there I think 4 or 5 times. But this is one of his largest ones. Was his largest one, and also the Sahara is not, sub-Saharan Africa. It's very, if you run out of water, you're dead. It's, and the last time that he went, I think, was 1955, was 2 years before this trip, and he almost died because they ran out of water, and he gave it all. So his wife was driving. He was dying of thirst in the passenger seat, and he's still like, "Oh, that was cool. All right, let's do it again." And he's taken some I am shocked. We need to bring back. It's sad that we have digital photography now. I think the pictures that he's taken with a
one of those old
with
analog
with an analog camera with film just looks 10 times better than anything we could. It looks like he's in Lawrence of Arabia.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like it's so cool. And with the truck and everything, with the Land Rover, it just that's like the dream come true right there. I drive around the desert.
Yeah.
They're driving 14-hour days, but man, so he's earned my respect. Yeah. But like I said, book coming out, really cool. I would highly recommend anyone that's listening check him out, look him up. Anyway, I'm sorry to inform you, but you have just wasted an hour. I don't know if we got it wasted, but listen to us talk for the last 50 minutes.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for tuning in.
Thank you very much.
We're
gonna end off here, and we wanted to also be sure to reach out to our Instagram again. We would seriously love it. We would love just anything that you could
anything and everything.
Yeah.
Like I said, call in and add suggestions and. Hold on 1 second. We're trying to figure out the the controls to. No, we already know them, but we're trying to move this. The way our setup here is we have 2 different keyboards, and we're trying to fully move it. So, anyway, the next song that we're going to leave you off with was a band that, man, if they really want to turn things up, really get to the next level of power, their equipment, they have an 11 on their
amplifier.
Yeah, they really really have a extra sort of bit. And you might ask, why not just have 10? Why not make 10 larger? But theirs has 11.
Yeah.
So with that, thank you so much for watching.
Thank you very much.
Here is Tonight I'm Gonna Rock You Tonight by Spinal Tap.